State of the channel video for October 2018.
Since Spacies.
G'day invaders, welcome to Since Spacies, and this is the state of the channel video for October. And I'm going to start by first a big thank you and a big shout out to DJ Slope. Now DJ Slope featured me on a pretty big video and got about 250 subscribers. So to all you new subscribers, welcome to Since Spacies. Glad to have you on board. And I just want to apologize for lack of content recently. I have been busy. I'll get to that in a moment. But again, thank you to DJ Slope. To get in amongst this lot of YouTubers was pretty special. So I had a lot of fun watching that and I was not expecting it. So major thank you once again. Also, I want to just thank the Ministry of Retro Gaming. This is a group of guys that I'm a part of where we get together and collab and whatever that you can see the video there that we all wrapped in. I featured on a podcast of theirs, so if you haven't had a chance, please go and watch that. It goes for about an hour and a half, so I don't know, have a few beers and sit down and watch it, but it's worth watching. I apologize for the audio. We will work on getting that improved in future videos, but I just want you to get in there and subscribe to Sorax Space, who's hosting the current one. And how that will work is we will take turns on hosting it. So I'm not sure who's the next channel that's going to be hosting podcast number 3, but podcast number 2 for the Ministry of Retro Gaming is currently on Sorax Space, so get on board on that. Now I'm just going to get straight into the top 5 videos for October. So number 5 video for the month of October was my Shenmue review, and I'm glad it's still getting some views because the amount of work that goes into putting a review together in 2018 for YouTube is just ridiculous. It's so time consuming, but there it is, my review for Shenmue, and that's the HD version on Xbox One. And I've got my friends over at 5-Star Gaming to thank for getting me that code. And I still haven't got the physical copy, which is really, yeah, I don't know, I've just been busy. I will do my pickups video. I will let you know what I have been picking up, but Shenmue isn't in that list. So yeah, number 5, my Shenmue HD review. Coming in at number 4 was my look at 1981 in my Gaming Since Spacies series, and this is a series that I've been really looking forward to getting my teeth stuck into, and I finally got a little bit of a format going, so I'm really happy with that. But this is this is 1981. I look back at the games that were big in that year. Also, I look at the significant events that took place in that year. And I also go through 3 of my nominations for Game of the Year and eventually reveal which one actually took out that award. So if you haven't already done so, you'll see the links below for the Gaming Since Spacies series. And this is the 1981 video. Guess what one's coming up next? 1982. And that's coming soon. Probably in about 2 weeks time you'll see that come onto the channel. And coming in at number 3, we're up to number 3 now, is my gaming pickups video for last month. And I like to do these videos because I just like showing off to you guys what I've picked up, what stuff interests me, and not always coming in with the big hitters. Like 1 month, I had the Genesis imported from the US. That was a pretty significant pickup. And the Christmas one I think was huge, where I picked up a lot of boxed edition of games. But even if it's just one game, I will do a video on it. But the next one, that will be my next video, is the pickups video. They're sitting over there to the side. There's not much, it's not a big one, but it'll still be you know, worthy of watching. And maybe the games that I picked up you like, maybe you won't, I don't know. But that's coming up next on the channel. And my number 2 video, number 2 video for the month, last month, was my Gaming Since Spacies 1980 video. And this is probably the best video that I've done in that series. I'm not saying that the last video was bad or anything, but this is, I think, the video where I started to get a feel for what I wanted this series to be. And of course, this series is going to be more controversial as the years go on. So no one really cares what the game of the year was for 1979, 1980, 1981. These are all old retro games, and you know, they're sentimental to me, but I know that they're not really sentimental to a lot of people because a lot of you guys watching weren't even born at this era. But as I get closer towards the 90s, my choice of game of the year is gonna probably upset a few people, and that's kind of what I want. I don't really care if my game of the year doesn't match your game of the year. That's the whole point of these videos. So yeah, 1980 was the second most watched video on my channel for the last month. And the #1 video on Since Spacies for the month of September was my Yes, Another Bloody Gaming podcast, and that was starring Sorax Space, Gaming Muso, and Cameron Hobbs, who was the first person to be in a podcast here in the flesh on the channel. That's something I wish to do a little more of later. I'm still trying to find people here in Sydney that I can collaborate with. Very hard to find YouTubers in my hometown. I don't know why, but yeah, it's proven to be a little difficult. But that was quite fun to put together, and the next one is going to be even cooler. I'm not saying this one was bad, but I'm just always trying to make the next ones better. But I'll get into that a little more later. So my #1 video, yes, once again, was the Yes, Another Bloody Gaming podcast, number 13 video. Check that out if you haven't already done so. And on the podcast, I will be doing audio only podcasts soon, but I'm a little bit hesitant to do it because basically, I'm not going to lie to you, I want you to watch the channel. I want to get my watch time up, but I know a lot of you can't watch the podcast because you want to listen to it on the way to work and back. So what I'm going to do in regards to the podcast is delay the podcast by about 2 weeks or so. So I'll be putting it on the channel. You'll have to watch it on the channel if you want to watch it fresh. But after 2 weeks or thereabouts, I'll be putting it on an audio system, audio platform later. I still haven't figured out the nuts and bolts of that. But once I've got something to announce, I'll be putting that out on the channel on my Twitter. And speaking of Twitter, I'm going to get to the top tweets coming right up. So my #1 tweet for the month was my Game & Watch tweet, where I got a new light box, and I thought I'll try out something new. So I took pictures of all my double Game & Watches and put them up on the Twitter. Got a huge response, didn't it? So that was my #1 tweet for the month. Really happy with that. And speaking of the light boxes, if any of you out there are running a Twitter feed or a YouTube channel, get yourself a light box. They're just a lot of fun to mess around with. You can take photos of just useless crap, put it up onto the channel or onto your Twitter account, and you get good results. So it's just a lot of fun. They don't cost much. They're about $20, not even these days. But try to get one a little bigger. So the one I got was just too small. So the next one I get is going to be a lot bigger. But they're still a lot of fun. Now, even if you get a really tiny one, you can still get little, you know, things like the amiibos and put them in there and have a bit of fun. But yeah, try to get yourself a decent, I don't know, 30 centimeter, maybe even a meter sized one. That would be huge. But you could just do so much. You could take pictures of your consoles, your games. Just a lot of fun. I really recommend getting yourself a light box, and again, they're not that expensive. My #1 tweet mention on Twitter for last month was a post that was put out by CD Mega. Now, he's an absolute fan of the Mega CD. Can't help the guy. I mean, it's a damn awesome system. But his post was a Logitech post, and he was basically responding to it like, what the hell? I don't know who put this timeline together, but obviously they don't know anything about gaming because it was just all messed up. So check it out, spot the errors. There's a ton of them. And it's just sad to think that a company as big as Logitech would actually stand behind this post and put it out. It's just wrong, seriously. My top follower for the last month was Julius Marshall. Was it Marshall Julius? I'm not too sure. He's from the BBC. I don't know him, so hi, thanks for following me. I love your work. But yeah, it's 2 months in a row. That's awesome. And my top picture that was sent out for the last month was my Master System adapter or Master System converter that I posted up. Sega Europe put that out, and retweeted it, and it just went nuts. So yeah, as you can see, I have a lot of fun with Twitter. I'm on it constantly. It's just so addictive. So to anyone that's not on Twitter who's watching this, you should get on board. At first it seems confusing. I had no idea, still don't really know. I had no idea though when I first started what I was doing. It is just so much fun. So get on to Twitter if you can, and that's where you'll see me active quite often actually, with some really dumb, stupid posts. And speaking of Twitter, I got 4,000 followers. So that's a bit of a milestone, and I'm quite proud of that. I'm hoping to get to 10,000. That's my goal. So here's the 10,000 followers on Twitter. If you haven't already done so, you'll find the link up there. It's just since Spacies. You won't have trouble finding me up there. So a couple of things I'm toying up with the idea of doing is an end of year award, similar to what Maz Gaming had done. I'm wanting to do a 10 YouTubers under 10,000 subscribers award. Top 10 YouTubers, yeah, something along those lines. Favorite Twitter follower or person, I don't know, I'm still toying up with the idea, but I wanted to do something that shows my gratitude back to the gaming community, because honestly it's just so much fun. The contacts that I'm making here on YouTube, it's just pretty full on. I mean, back 2016 I had no idea that I would be having so much fun interacting with everyone here on Twitter and on YouTube. So I'm just wanting to do something to give back, and I think it's about time that I started. So I'll be doing some sort of a end of year special coming soon. Also coming up on the channel, we've got the next podcast, which is going to be starring Tristabytes. It will also have Gaming Muso, and also G to the Next Level. And G to the Next Level is from America. He's a massive Sega fanboy. You don't see too many big Sega fanboys in the US. I'm starting to notice one or two of you out there though in the US that were more into Sega than you were into Nintendo. Hard to find you, but you are out there. So he will be featuring on the channel, and he's a Patreon now. So big shout out and thank you to him once again for following me. And speaking of Patreon, you'll see the link down there at the end of the video. Please do so, get on board and help me out. I am saving still for that webcam, and if I get that webcam, my podcast won't look like potato. That's the goal. We'll see how that works out. And I'm just going to end by just letting you guys know that with the Sonic and Sally statues, that's what a lot of you have started following me for, is because of that saga going on with the junkyard. Now, with the junkyard, the owner of the junkyard, the guy that's holding the statues, is being a little bit unreasonable, being a bit difficult would probably be the way to put it. I offered him this, which was the sign that he asked for. I was going to get it backed on a Kickstarter or something. I still hadn't figured that part out. And I figured this is exactly what he was after. Offer it to him. It's not a cheap thing, by the way. It was about $5 grand, and he turned it down. He said, no, we've got too many. We've got 6 of those already. That was exactly what he was asking for though. So I'm really, really puzzled as to what this guy actually wants. I personally think he's just stringing me along. That's my honest opinion. But I'm still going to keep going with this, because those statues need saving. That Sally statue is the only one that I know of in existence that's still kicking, and it's only a head. I want to get it resurrected and fixed. I don't really have a goal as to what I want to do with it once it is fixed. I don't have room for it in this house. It's going to look odd sitting out in my back little patio. It would be cool though. But I just want to save it. That's my only goal in all this. So yeah, so an update on that is that there is no update, sadly. I've been offering him different items to see if I can get him to react or get a bite from him. I'm not getting it. I do have one plan though. I'm not going to reveal what it is. It's not going to be what he was asking for. It's going to be maybe getting a response out of him for something else that he's into. So I'll see how that goes. I still have to do some back end work. So yeah, I thought I'd just update you on that, just to say that I haven't forgotten it, and it is still in motion. Sadly, it's such a drama, isn't it? So that's been my state of the channel video for the month of October. Oh my god, I can't believe we are up to Halloween. Halloween wasn't really a big thing here in Australia, but anyway, I'm starting to get around to the idea of spooky crap and all the rest of it. Tell me what you guys have got for the month of October, your pickups, because my pickups video is coming up next. I'll be doing that, filming that in the next 1 or 2 nights. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I do intend, now that the months are going to get warmer, I do intend on getting more and more videos up on the channel. So currently finishing up a review, which is taking a gazillion hours to get together. But once I've got that review finished, that's going to start to open up some more room for getting some of these other video series done. I still got my Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection series to get started with, or complete. I'm up to Sonic 3 on that. And also, I want to get back into the Megazone magazine reviews. I'll look back at the Megazone magazines. Anyway, I'm ranting. I think I'll leave it at that. If you haven't already done so, please join the Patreons. If you haven't already subscribed, please do that. If you haven't already, you get it. I'm going to get out of here. My name has been Brian, and I've been gaming since Spacies. Thanks, guys.
Since Spacies.